I didn't want to make any predictions before the weigh-ins. I just wanted to see how both guys would look, if one of them was drained or looked weak or something like that, and they looked normal, they looked well. I was expecting Xander Zayas to look a little bit drained because, he had to cut so much weight, but he looked normal. So now let's talk about the fight. On one side, you have Jerome Boots Ennis, who's one of the most talked about boxers in boxing today. Very good athletically, he's fast, he can punch. He's a boxer puncher. I would say more of an athletic puncher than boxer puncher, because he relies on his power and his speed and his athleticism more than his boxing skills. And on the other side, you have Xander Zayas, who's a natural boxer puncher, more of a boxer than puncher because he has less knockouts. This is a very good matchup stylistically. I think it's going to be a very good fight, very tense fight. Jerome Boots Ennis is the favorite to win the fight, and the majority of boxing fans and people in boxing are picking Boots, maybe to stop Xander Zayas. I actually don't know why, because Xander Zayas is better than any fighter Boots has faced so far in his career. I mean, he was having issues with smaller guys at welterweight. I don't know why Xander Zayas would not give him any more issues. You know what I'm saying? I think this will be maybe the hardest fight for Boots Ennis. So far, Xander is the more tested guy. Last time he fought Abbas Barao, it was a very hard fight for him. He won, of course. He did very well. But in the later rounds, it was very hard. He was tested. He was pushed. Also, he fought more pressure fighters than Boots Ennis, because Boots Ennis at welterweight, he was the dominant guy. He was the bigger guy, and he had his way with all of those fighters there. Smaller guys, they couldn't handle his power. In this fight, he's not the bigger guy. I think both of them are the same size. Maybe Xander is a little bit bigger. I'm not sure. We know that, Boots has issues with boxers who can move, right? Like, in the Karen Chukajan fights, especially the second fight, I actually thought he lost that fight. When you look at the power punch landed, Karen Chukajan landed more power punch than Joram Boots Ennis. And he rocked Boots a lot of times. Boots was not able to handle Karen Chukajan's angles, his footwork. The only thing missing from Chukajan was, sustained attacks, right? And I think Xander Zayas is a better version of Karen Chukajan. I would argue Karen has, better footwork, but Xander is a more complete fighter than Karen Chukajan. You know what I'm saying? He's better, fundamentally better. When we look at the corners of both fighters, Xander Zayas' team, he's trained by Javier Centeno, who also trained George Kambosos for the Teofimo Lopez fight. That was a very good game plan from that team. It shows, they have a very good track record, right? Like they're very good at getting ready for fights and, making very good game plans. And on the other hand, you have Boots' dad, who, as I heard, doesn't watch film. I mean, which is very interesting because I think they're how can you get ready for a fighter without watching, without analyzing, their weak points and their strong points, and without completely studying them? I just don't know, but we will see how that goes. And also, in terms of adjustments, I think Xander Zayas' team make better adjustments than Boots' team. We saw that in all of their fights, especially when you look at the last Xander Zayas fight against Abbas Barao. He was able to handle the pressure in the later rounds from Barao. There was a lot of pressure coming from Barao's side. He was pushing Xander, but Xander was able to deal with that pressure. They were able to make a very good adjustment in that fight. And when you look at Boots' team, his dad, especially in the Karen Chukajan fights, his dad, all he was telling him was just to knock out, knock him out, knock him out. Like that. That was the whole game plan. It looked like they were not, they were not successful making any adjustments. In terms of game plans, I think Team Boots want to knock out Xander Zayas. Their game plan is to just knock him out. They don't want to box with Xander. They don't want to stand off with him or anything. And I think they're prepping to knock out Xander Zayas. And I think Xander's team, I'm expecting they want to outbox Boots Ennis. They know he's coming for the knockout. So I think they're ready for that. This fight, I think, all depends on, who can make the better adjustments. You know what I'm saying? I think it's going to be a very tense fight in the early rounds. I'm expecting Xander Zayas to pick up some rounds, in the early rounds of the fight, and maybe Boots Ennis to come on strong in the later rounds. So far we know Xander can get a little bit tired in the later rounds. That's what happened in the Abbas Barao fight. Maybe that's what happens in this fight. Now, in terms of my picks, I'm inclined to pick Boots Ennis. Just like the majority of boxing fans and also the people in boxing. But I actually want to pick Xander Zayas to win the fight. I'm picking Xander Zayas for two reasons. The first reason is just, I don't know. I think he's overlooked. Okay? Everybody's just Boots, Boots, Boots. Relax, guys. Give the champion. He's the champion. Give him a chance, So that's one reason I want to pick Xander. The other reason is I just think Xander is the better fighter. I think he can outbox Boots Ennis. If Karen Chukajan gave you issues, bro, what do you think is gonna happen with Xander Zayas? And I think Xander will win on points. It's gonna be a close fight, obviously, because I'm expecting Boots to come on strong in the later rounds, as I said earlier. And I won't be surprised if Boots Ennis wins. Okay, I think the only chance he has is to stop Xander Zayas. I don't think he can outbox him, but we'll see what happens. That's my pick. Like the video, man. Subscribe to the channel. I want to get to 10 subscribers. That's not a lot to ask. Random Boxing Nerd signing out.